Ever wondered if the bridge connecting different blockchains could itself be a single point of failure? That's a crucial question when we talk about cross-chain communication, and today, we're diving deep into Bifrost to see if it truly lives up to the promise of decentralized interoperability. In a world increasingly embracing multi-chain solutions, the need for secure and reliable bridges is paramount. Imagine a bustling digital metropolis where different districts, representing various blockchains like Ethereum, Polkadot, and others, need to communicate and exchange value seamlessly. Bridges are the roads and highways connecting these districts. However, if these bridges are controlled by a single entity or a small group, they become vulnerable to censorship, hacks, and even shutdowns, effectively isolating entire sections of our digital city. This brings us to Bifrost, a project that aims to be precisely that decentralized highway. But is it truly decentralized? To answer this, we need to look under the hood at its architecture and governance mechanisms. Bifrost operates as a multi-chain middleware platform designed to connect diverse blockchains. Its core innovation lies in its use of the substrate framework, the same technology that powers Polkadot. This allows Bifrost to build its own network, acting as a central hub for cross-chain communication. One key aspect of decentralization is the validator set. In a truly decentralized system, no single entity should have excessive control over validating transactions and maintaining the network's integrity. Bifrost employs a nominated proof-of-stake (NPS) consensus mechanism similar to Polkadot. This means that a large number of token holders can stake their BNC tokens, Bifrost native coin, and nominate validators to participate in the network's operation. This distributed nature of staking and validation helps to prevent centralization of power. Furthermore, Bifrost utilizes a multi-signature scheme for its cross-chain transfers. When assets are bridged between different blockchains, they are typically locked on the originating chain and a corresponding representation is minted on Bifrost. The unlocking and minting processes are often governed by a set of multiple signers, requiring a threshold of signatures to authorize any transaction. This multi-signature approach distributes control and reduces the risk of a single point of failure. However, the degree of decentralization isn't static, it's a spectrum. While Bifrost's NPS and multi-sig features point towards a strong commitment to decentralization, it's essential to consider other factors. The distribution of BNC tokens, the level of community involvement in governance decisions, and the transparency of the project's development roadmap all play crucial roles. A wide distribution of tokens among a diverse set of participants makes it harder for any single entity to gain undue influence. Active community participation in proposing and voting on upgrades and changes ensures that the platform evolves in a way that aligns with the interests of its users, not just a core team. Moreover, the ongoing development and maturity of Bifrost's governance mechanisms are vital. Decentralization is not a switch that can be flipped overnight, it's a continuous process of refinement and evolution. As the platform grows and matures, we should expect to see further decentralization of control and decision-making. So, is Bifrost decentralized? Based on its architecture leveraging NPS and multi-signature schemes, it demonstrates a strong foundation for decentralized cross-chain communication. However, the true extent of its decentralization is an ongoing process that depends on factors like token distribution, community governance, and the continued evolution of its protocols. It's a journey, not a destination, and Bifrost appears to be on the right path towards building a truly trustless and decentralized bridge between blockchains. With that said, thanks for watching and until next time.